Hello and welcome to episode 89 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine evening, the one, the only, Mr. Perry Burkham.
It is me, Perry Burkham, and I'm here with my best buddy, Casey Gibson, and we're going to talk Nintendo.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. How are you doing, Casey?
I'm doing well. I've got 2 cups of Joe in me, and I am
Nice.
standing up. I'm recording standing up today. I'm telling you, man, sitting down all day and then coming home and sitting down sucks.
Alright, dude, that sounds awful.
Yeah. My back has been... It's so annoying. It's like, I always feel like I'm one crack away from it just being, like, solving itself, you know, and being back to normal. But, I can never achieve that crack, so, thus, I'm on 2 feet today. But that's alright.
Well, that's right, because you have your convertible desk stand thing, right?
Yep.
A sit-stand desk? Is that what it's called?
Sure.
I forgot what it's called.
Yeah,
Whatever,
it's just got like a little crank that I can could bring her up or bring her down, so she's in the upward position, if you will.
Cranky Kong.
Yes. How are you doing?
Oh, man. Well, today, I was driving back from the city, and it started raining, and I was on the interstate going like 70 miles an hour with gridlock with cars, like, you know, and the rain, and then my windshield wiper fell off.
Oh no.
And even like one of them fell off, and then the motor just stopped working. It wouldn't even go. So I rolled down the window, and I you know,
Ace Ventura'd it?
I can't see anything. I literally can't see anything, Casey. I'm going 70 miles an hour on the interstate. I thought I was gonna die. I really thought like I was gonna die.
Next time you're going 70 miles an hour and you can't see, you better slow down, you big Jimmy.
I couldn't though. Yeah, of course I slowed down.
I stepped on the gas to counteract that I couldn't see.
Well, no, because I can't just slam on the brakes around other people. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
I can't,
I know.
I would, right? I was in the middle lane too, which is ugh. So anyway, I'm reaching out the window, and I try to grab the windshield wipers and like do it like manually, and I can't reach it and stuff. Oh my goodness, it was so scary, and anyway, I luckily had enough to where I looked over and I could see, and I looked at my blind spot, and I got off, and I slowed down, and I stopped underneath, I stopped on the edge of the, you know,
the shoulder,
lane, the shoulder, and man, my body, I was like so, tense. Have you ever been so tense and then you're sore, or it's adrenaline rush, and you feel really weird, and anyway.
That sounds miserable.
It was horrifying. I was super, super scared. I thought I was going to die. I was like, my last wish, I have to record the podcast tonight. No.
Yeah, I know that happened when I borrowed, when my car was in the shop, I was borrowing my grandma's car, and it was weird. It was one of those late snowstorms, and the right windshield wiper, or I guess right from the perspective of being behind the wheel, came off.
Stage right?
Yeah, stage right. Yeah, so I got lucky in that sense, because, if it was on the left-hand side, I would not have been able to see anything, but you should have just Ace Ventura'd it, man. Stick your head right out the window and just drive.
In the rain?
Yeah, yep. You would imagine just driving down the road and seeing someone's head out of the window, in the torrential downpour. Would be perfect. You could have been online.
I can see why Lady Bird loves this. But yeah, so I'm so glad to be back and recording my favorite podcast with my buddy, and
because it's been a while.
Makes you appreciate the good things. Yeah, it has been a while because we recorded an early episode last week. Also, just real quick, I haven't read reviews for a long time, and I was looking at our podcast, trying to look at for an old episode, and I was like, oh yeah, reviews. I wonder if anyone's left any. And we have some really sweet reviews on there from people that are really nice, and I like that too.
Yeah,
so.
obviously, I should say, you showed me one of those pictures, so I went and sort of saw what else was written. And yeah, there was a lot of really nice, kind things, so we appreciate all of those who went out and reviewed us on iTunes. And if you feel like doing it, that'd be awesome too. But of course, no obligation. But moving forward, I feel like this intro has been going on. I think it's time, Perry.
Yeah, it's time. And let's start with a game that you've been playing.
It's time to die for Valhalla.
Yes. Tell me about this game. I really don't know anything.
Yeah, I know you don't know anything, but
Is that funny?
Oh, I was just thinking like of not in the context of the game, but if you were just like, I don't know anything.
Yeah, I know.
And yes.
It's kind of like last week when you laughed for 5 minutes when I said sweech.
You make me laugh, Perry. What can I say?
You make me laugh too, buddy.
But yeah, so Die for Valhalla is a side-scrolling, essentially like a beat-em-up RPG roguelite game. It's got a lot of things going for it. So
side-scrolling shoot 'em up.
Yeah. Puzz form. Adventure, open world, the game. But yeah, so this game essentially, you jump in there, and there's like a little story going on. Honestly, it sort of takes a back seat. Like, I'm sure if you wanted to read into it, there is a little bit of story there, but you're here to play the game, essentially. And when you get in there, there's a little tutorial, and it sort of shows you the ropes, and essentially the game is side-scrolling, and there's like a lane going left to right, and you're pushing from the left to the right. And as you go, enemies come out, and you have to just attack them and kill all the enemies on the screen. Now, you can do this pretty easily. The game has nice, simple controls, which is nice. So you've got two forms of an attack. Your sort of just your standard attack, and then like your... they might call it a heavy attack, but it essentially, it's got limited use depending on how much... Again, I don't know if it's mana or SP or exactly. Essentially, your magic point. So you only have a few of uses of those before you have to sort of restock it before being able to use it. Now, essentially, you are a Valkyrie, and that is pretty weak. It can attack and it does some damage, but it gets hurt pretty easily. But what's nice is it can actually possess these fallen heroes, and I believe they're all Vikings, and essentially when you're going through the level, there are like tombstones sort of spread about, and you could just go up to these tombstones and you just end up mashing B, and you can actually take that character over, and then you actually play as that character. And what's cool is you can actually switch it up. So you could pick up the one character, and when you first start off, there's 3 available to you. So there is sort of a warrior who has 2 axes, one that has a shield and a sword, and then one's like an archer. So what's cool is you can just on the fly switch these out, so you're not locked into one play style for the level. And I thought that was nice. And then when you die, you pop back out into Valkyrie form, and then you could just jump back into a different enemy, or a warrior, I should say. And I guess as you progress through the game, you unlock more of these classes. But I have not gotten that deep into the game, but I was checking out Alex's, a.k.a. Mr. Panda's review on his YouTube, which you guys should totally do.
It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday to you, Alex.
Happy birthday, Mr. Panda, Alex.
Or belated by the time he hears this.
Mr. Panda starring Alex.
But I guess he says, those sort of come later in the game, so you sort of end up using those 3 characters, but they play differently enough that it's fun to do that. Now, what's cool is how the RPG elements come into it. So as you kill these enemies, you get like glory points, essentially experience points, and then when you level up, you get 1 ability and 1 stat boost. Now, the stat boost is sort of cool though, because it gives you just like it's sort of like a little grid, and it has like different symbols on it, and they each represent different things. So there's one's defense, one attack, spirit, whatever, and you can upgrade each of those. But how it works is you click somewhere on that little tiny map, and it becomes like a grid. So you have, now I don't know if this fluctuates, but every time I've leveled up, I've had 7 runes, they call them, to click on. So essentially, like, you hit the one rune, and then you can now hit another one, but it has to be one box to the left, right, up, or down. So then you click on that one, and then you can, again, you could pick another one. So you end up making like a little snake. Does that make sense, how I'm explaining that?
Yeah.
So, you know, it sort of gives that random element to how your character levels up, but also gives you a little bit of agency over it, too. So, you know, if you want more attack, you can, but, you know, if this little map happens to lay, oh, the attacks are up there, and then the other close ones are defense, and you don't really want defense, it's like, well, then you sort of need to pick your poison if, you know, you want to go that route or not.
Sure.
And then after you do that, then you just get to pick an ability that's randomly generated. And, like, you know, some of them are like, when you're running, you leave, like, a little tornado behind, you know, which hurts enemies, and little things like that. I think you can even pick some that are, like, just give you more stat boost if you don't want to do an ability. Excuse me. But yeah, so, I mean, what's cool is that there's 2 different modes. So there is, like, a roguelite mode and then a normal mode. I'm playing on the normal mode. So, so when you die, you just, you know, you just go back out of the level and you can retry it. Because how the map works is sort of like you go, like, there's nodes on a map, and then beating one area unlocks a couple different paths you can go, you know, and then you can sort of branch out there. And then eventually, as you're exploring, then it's like, oh, your objective is to go through the cave, because now you sort of see it on the map, and you're like, oh, well, I actually need to work a different branch to get to that path. So it's not always, you know, straightforward. And these are randomly generated levels and stuff, so, I mean, as far as I've been playing, it hasn't been too difficult yet. Now, again, from Alex's review, you know, so he's played through the whole game, he mentioned that the normal mode almost felt too dull, and that the roguelite mode felt too punishing. So it was...
Oh, okay.
So it's one of those, like, it seems like it doesn't hit the sweet spot on either of those, and that's sort of a little frustrating, but the cool thing about this is that it is definitely a local co-op game. Like, there's a lot of focus on that. So for me, you know, I'm playing solo, and maybe, you know, when there's more, you know, another person or two playing with you, then you could sort of interact with different types of heroes, and obviously just playing multiplayer with someone on the couch is generally going to make the game more fun, just, you know, riffing off each other as you play. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty fun little game. You know, like I said, when you're going through the levels, it's randomly generated, so, like, sometimes they have little different events where it's like, oh, protect the shrine, and enemies come on, and you know, they're trying to attack the shrine, and you need to take them out. And, you know, little things like that to keep each level a little fresh and interesting. But,
right.
But yeah, I mean, I really liked the, like, little mini puzzle upgrade system. I thought that was really cool. And, you know, and the game's simple in the sense that it's really easy to pick up and play. You know, it's not intimidating. And, you know, if you're playing normal and you die, you could just jump right back in really easily. You know, especially, like I said, you sort of have that Valkyrie, then you jump into one of the warriors, so you have that buffer. So even if the warrior dies, you know, it's never an issue to jump back into another one.
Sure.
Now, when you die in normal, like, it just becomes a gravestone again, and you can actually jump right back into that hero. I think in the rogue light, or the roguelite, whatever they call it, mode, I think that would just disappear. So you have a limited number of warriors on the screen to reuse, making it obviously more difficult. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, if you end up, you know, you're 50% through the game and you die on one level, then you're wiped. You know, that's it. You go back to the beginning. Right. So that's why I think that's a little punishing, because I think, again, Alex, I think, said it was like an 8 to 10 hour campaign if you were to run through the normal mode. So it seems sort of crazy. I guess the normal mode, the map is bigger to sort of counteract the fact that you can just die, you know, endless amount of times and it not be a big deal. But I guess it seems like it maybe needed a little better balance for roguelite mode. But Hey, if
Sure.
you want a really, really difficult roguelite and you got a couple buddies, it might be a fun task to see if you guys can sort of, step up to the challenge.
Cool, man. Yeah, yeah, and so it's fun having all these cool indie games out and like doing, different kind of versions of each and roguelike this and this kind of this and what a time to be alive.
Yeah, man. Games for games for games for days, man. It's
I love
hooey.
it.
Yes, sir.
Now there was a game that came out or that I saw a press release for, and I just immediately fell in love with it. Anyway, they sent us a code, and that game is Super Sportmatchen. Now, have you seen this game?
I have not seen this game at all. In fact, I am looking at a little video right now, but I don't really know anything about it.
Okay, well, the best way to put it would be if you took Mario Party minigames and then kind of made them centered, and then that made the aesthetic like sport games, sport 8-bit games. So this harkens back. So kind of like what is that old? I'm having just a brain fart of a day. I'm sorry.
You leave your brain at one of your 18 jobs?
California games. No, it jumped out of the car when I thought it was going to crash. Have you ever played California games?
I have not.
Okay, well, it's just kind of a set of just little sports games where they're not really in depth, really, but
they're almost like little
fun,
demos.
little things. Yeah, basically. And this game just has so much dang charm. Think Spirit Sphere, seriously, very similar to Spirit Sphere. Just vibrant, bright colors just coming off the screen. This game looks gorgeous in handheld mode. Like, do you remember getting the Switch at launch and then like playing Blaster Master Zero and seeing the pixels just like pop out?
Yeah,
like,
how gorgeous
so
it
bright.
looked in handheld.
And it's just that feeling. It's just like, man, it looks so cool, That's how I felt playing this game, and it's just everything is bright and fun. And so there's I don't have it with me, unfortunately. I should have, but it's I don't know how many games. I think there's probably like around 10 or 12 games, maybe more, maybe less, different ones. And of course, some of them are worse than the others, but really they are just like Mario Party mini games. With the exception of the basketball game, which is amazingly fun and kind of stands on its own as a really, really fun game.
I think that was the one video I was watching where the hoop is actually in like the middle of a circular court, right, almost?
Yeah, it's called Hoops. So yeah, let me talk about basketball. So yeah, it's completely side-scrolling. It doesn't look like it, though. It's funny, like I didn't even realize it wasn't side-scrolling when I like until like a minute in. Like I thought I kind of had like 3D control, like where you can walk around the corner, but no, it's just left and right. So you can play all these games with up to 4 players, which is really cool. Joy-Con co-op, perfect Joy-Con. In fact, a game that I've played with Aaron, we haven't played a Joy-Con co-op game for a long time, and this actually works with it really well. So Joy-Con co-op game, and all these games, basketball is you have 1 to 2, 3, 4 players, and they're running around, and a basketball, there's like a vulture that grabs the basketball, and he'll go up above the screen and drop it, and then it's basketball time. And then so you have 3 moves. You can jump, you can shoot, and then you can punch. So,
oh no!
Yeah.
Street
So the
ball.
whole game is going around totally. So it's going around punching people, and then you. But the thing is if you miss, if you punch, but you actually don't like hit them, then you will fall onto the ground. You'll trip and
risk
stumble.
reward. I like it.
Totally. And then you can also jump on people to do the same effect to kick them down. And like you can also, there is a way to slam dunk by jumping on top of someone's head, which I still haven't done yet, and I can't wait to try. This game is so hard though. All of these games are really hard. I'll get into that in a little bit, but just basketball, like you shoot, you hold the A button, and a little bar will go up, and then that will shoot that's your strength of your shot. And you got to get it right. So it's like no matter where you're standing, you're going to need different strength on the field. And it's like the first time I played, the computer beat me like 23-0. I didn't score one, you know. And the second time I played, I didn't score one either. It was like, you know, I just made it super hard. I know, isn't that crazy?
Tell me something I don't already know.
Shut up, Casey. And anyway, but then like that is the one big gripe I have with this game, is that the computer is smoking. It always smokes you. Just so incredibly good. I mean, like, too good. No, I mean, like, and actually I was talking with Justin Nation about this too. I mean, it's just like it's almost to the I like it for some points because it really pushes you to your limit, you know, because you don't want to play a computer that's bad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's never.
But
fun.
Oh my goodness, like, this game is so hard. And okay, so the basketball definitely my favorite. There's also like a canoe one where you're all just in a canoe and a boat, and you're all going along this trail, and you just gotta. There's 3 different lanes that you have to shift between to dodge stuff, and that's it. You're just shifting left, right, left. You know, you can go over ramps and stuff. You can also collect little beads to give you. It'll give you more points at the end. So that's like for like, you know, for pros, like maybe you didn't make it as far, but you got more beads. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so funny because like the game goes until the last person stops. So I stopped, and I kid you not, the game played itself for like another 2.5 minutes.
Oh no.
Because the computer just kept going. It just kept going and winning, and it never, you know, it finally, you know. So there's some clear like things that need to be
some tuning, almost
yes.
sort of similar to our last game. Just a little, maybe some fine tuning on the difficulty level.
Yes, exactly. Oh, absolutely. And because, you know, I feel like, you know, with AI, I feel like being difficult would be the harder. I don't know, like, I feel like that would be an easy fix rather than trying to make it harder to make it easier, because, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about. But, so there's that. There's, like, this, like, beanbag hopping game. It's not a beanbag, but it's, like, that concept where it's one button. The whole thing is one button. You hold the B button and you charge it and you jump, and then when you're in the air you want to charge, you know, and then so when you land you can jump again, and you're hopping along a track. And there's also, like, you know, you'll try to hit trampolines to make you go further, and then there is also one thing that if you hit A and B, it'll burst you forward like in a crazy, like just like a tackle straight forward, boom. And but you got to know when to use it. Like, it's kind of weird, but because when you land, you're gonna crash. So
it almost seems like this game is a lot of sort of knowing when to take risks and sort of when not to.
Absolutely, yeah, and super fun because it's just like Mario Party, where it'll show you, you know, one screen will say, hey, you know, this is what you do. This is the controls. Boom, get into it. Amazing, and it really is perfect for the Switch. I mean, absolutely perfect. And it really feels like it's kind of tailor-made for the Switch. I mean, like, there's like a lot just because of how the Joy-Cons work. Mm-hmm. Everything has those like Joy-Con button layout things, like for everything. Like, there's even a climbing one where it's all mapped. You got to climb and like jump onto and grab the Joy-Con buttons. The right ones. So it's like they're all. It'll make sense if you saw it, but it feels like I have no idea if this is like a Switch. This might be an exclusive. Like, it seems like it could be. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's so perfect. In many ways, it has so many of the same reasons why I'm so pumped for Spirit Sphere. You know, the multiplayer sport, like simple sport game. You know, I mean, of course, it doesn't have the depth that Spirit Sphere has, like with different characters, mm-hmm. but it does have a lot of really there's funny writing. There's at the end of each, you know, you can pick between like 1 to 5 rounds, or do the Super Sportmatchen, which is all of the games, which I think it's made 10 rounds or something. You play every single sport, you know, and then at the end, the person who wins, and you got first, second, third place, and like the first place has this gigantic trophy, and the second place is like crying. Some of the characters cry, and some of the first place characters cry when
Tears
they're first
of
place.
joy.
Like, yeah, yes, and then the national anthem plays in like 8-bit. Like there's like 6 different. Like there's like Canada. There's no America. But there's like Canada and I think Vietnam and like
That's
it's
funny.
great. It is funny, yeah, and you can name your character and I named him Jim.
Old Jimmy.
And it's
Jimmy the Dwarf.
But yeah, I really love the game. I really truly love the game. I do think that there are some obvious issues with the game that don't ruin it, but severely hinder it. Like that is some of the games aren't that fun. Like a few of them are some stinkers. But then the other thing is just the computer is just like there's no difficulty, and it's just relentless. Where I feel like I feel like that kind of hinders your
makes it less
accessible.
At least
it does.
From if you don't have
for
other
that,
people to play
but
with.
I mean for a multi, it couldn't be more accessible if you're playing locally. It's the way it works. You can play with 1, 2, 3, or 4 players every game, and they're all like there's no teams. Like they're all like you all your own thing, and it's really great, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm happy to play. It's a game I'm really glad I have on my Switch, because I literally at work it was perfect because Aaron didn't have a Switch, and it's like perfect. Let's play this game, and it's we had 10 minutes and we got in and we played a few rounds of some games. It was just wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally
perfect for the pick
my
up
style
and play
of game. Oh, just perfect and fun even on the TV too. So, yep, and that's a Super Sportmatchen, and that comes out pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that because it's cool.
Boom. And I believe it actually is available right now. So.
Oh, is it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. How much is it?
$14.99.
$14.99. All right. Well, I guess we're going to have to cover that in the eShop Roundup.
All right. Yes, sir. Now, this next game here I've been playing is something...
I said we're going to cover it in the eShop. That was our cue to go... Sorry, once the segue starts, we have to end the segment.
Yep,
That's just how
we
it
ain't
works.
got time to talk about your other game, Casey.
Nope, just kidding. I want to hear a lot about this. This was the game that you got robbed of talking about last week because we recorded early.
Yeah, my quick bites has now turned into a 5-course meal, if you will. And I have been playing the recently released Runner 3. Now, I was...
Runner 3. Ow!
Yeah! Now, this game right here, obviously we talked a little bit about the other week with Perry. I was lucky enough, I got my nice, beautiful physical copy. Which,
it looks so nice.
Oh, it looks great, and it comes, popping it open right here, I've got a little, Commander Video, that's his name, right?
Yes, Commander Video.
Yes, so I got a little, Commander Video, I think it's one of those things you sort of attach to your phone, it's got, he's like a little keychain, but not really a keychain. Then it's got a nice little instruction manual, and, of course, the cute little GameCube-sized OST disc. Looks very nice. I'm very happy I went with it. But, all that physical goodness aside, as far as the game goes, now, before I got to play it, obviously I talked to you, and I read some reviews and stuff, and it seemed sort of divisive, with people's opinions. Some people are high on it. Some people, especially the fine folk over at Nintendo World Report, were not as high on it. I know Zach and Neil did not really love it as much as some other people out there did. And it seemed like it was sort of the jump from Runner 2 to 3. It's just maybe not the things they focused on in 3 were not things they wanted to focus on, it was much more difficult and stuff like that. And I know, being super long levels and having only one checkpoint is easily, can be very frustrating. But I think I went in with such expectations, like I'm like, all right, this game's going to be hard as hell, and I'm going to die a lot, and you know what I mean? And like, there might be points where I'm going to get really frustrated, but it's like, I'm just not going to, like I'm going to just go in and enjoy this game for what it is, and I don't know. I don't know if that's what helped, or if maybe I just didn't find it as punishing as some other people did. But,
yeah.
I mean, I'm almost all the way through. There are 3 worlds, and I think I have 1 level and then the boss, which...
Now, I have to ask. I mean, you're not collecting all the gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I am.
I mean, you're getting all 100 golds?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think...
Are you serious?
I think there was 1 level or 2 levels that, like, I got, like, 98 or 99. I was like, I'm not going back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's not like...
Okay, yeah.
But, you know what it is, pretty much?
Well, that happened to me, and then I was like, that's it, I'm done. Like, it's like, I can't get this one, so I'm just going to play this.
Yeah, see, now, I think having played some of the harder levels, I bet you I could go back to those earlier levels. I missed some and be able to do it more easily. But as of, like, this last world, I've gotten all 100 gold. And...
My goodness, dude, you're a monster.
You know what it is? It's because, like... So, the way I see each level is... and I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of exactly what runner is, because we already talked about that. So, but for me, it's almost... I see each level as 2 levels. So, I'm going in there like, okay, get to that first checkpoint, And... It's difficult, and what happens is I'll be like, I'll try and get all the golds, right? And then you end up playing the first part, like, 7 or 8 times, and it's like, well, now I know where all the golds are. It's like, I'm just going to get them, So then it's like, all right, I've 100%ed the first part of the level, and then I'm always like, well, now that I've already got all the gold from the first part, like, I'm going to get in the second part, you know what I mean? So there have been some times when I'm like, oh, there's the finish line, but I missed one, like I'll just jump into a wall. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's like the game is definitely difficult, and there are like definitely a few cases where it's the one level in particular is this you're running and you're on tracks and it shifts to like behind you a little bit. And it's like, oh, you need to go left or right on, decide which path you want to continue on, left or right. And you're like, okay, like I'll go right. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, something shot up and you ran into it. There's no way around it, And it's like, that was the only level so far that I've, like, wow, like, that's sort of cheap, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just sort of a guessing game, And then they do that like 3 or 4 times in that level too. So it's like, ugh. But, again, it's sort of, I guess, just one of those things. It's like you just got to run through it and be like, oh, sort of trial by error, and then be like, okay, this is how you do it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's like the only level I think I've gotten to the point where I was like, that really didn't feel great. But other levels, it's like, oh, some tricky things, like, oh, okay, like I need to do that differently, and then you just go back and do it. Now, what's cool is they have like the hero quests, but I haven't really dived too much into that, which I should because I do want to. I do want to unlock some of these new characters that are hidden about. But, yeah, I mean, I'm playing some RPGs, so, like, this is, like, the perfect side game.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, I can jump in there, and it's completely not an RPG, Like, obviously, it's a rhythm game, so it's, like, a completely different style of play. And, yeah, it just...
Have you,
I get lost into, like, all right, I beat a level, and I'm like... Yeah, that level took me like a half hour to beat. Maybe I should, and then I'm like, I'll just do one more, And
yeah,
I found myself staying up rather late doing that once or
man.
Twice. But
have you played it with headphones?
I have not.
Oh, it's so good. I highly recommend it.
Oh, the music is just fantastic. And like that's, I mean, I think that's part of why I can so easily just sit there and sort of get lost in it and not get too frustrated. Is just how wonderful. The music is, and just I don't know, it just feels good to me. And I didn't play a lot of Runner 2, so maybe had I play Runner 2 and sort of the progression of how the game sort of changed or focused on different things, maybe it might not have been as enjoyable. But having not really played a lot of Runner 2, I really dig in Runner 3.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, because I played a bunch of Runner 2, and I almost, I mean, the first Runner, see, I would love if you would go back to the first Runner and play it after playing 3. I just want to know, like, because I want to go back and play it too, just because, you know, I just remember it being so freaking hard, and they've done so much more since then that have made it not so punishing. So I want to know what you think of Runner, of the original. It's amazing.
Is it easily
so different
playable? I don't even, because that was a WiiWare game, right?
I'm pretty sure it's $5 on WiiWare.
Can you still buy WiiWare games?
I don't think you can.
Then I ain't playing Runner 1.
Well, no, you can get it on 3DS. In the collection, you can also buy the physical version of the Bit Trip Saga on Wii, which would be a really cool. That's something I've always been on the lookout for cheap. But yeah, Bit Trip's cool. Those guys are cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I do want to go back, because essentially each level you could play through twice as like the gold run, and then once you beat it, you can go back and do the gem run.
The gem, yeah.
And like the gem, because there are some really cool customization options to purchase, and you purchase that with like gems and items you find out in the world.
There's some really cool custom abilities.
Custom abilities, baby. Now, I think my favorite one, you could change how your the runner looks. You could get like a little mustache and stuff for him. But when you get to like a full, when you collect I forget, maybe 5 boom boxes, however many boom boxes, and you get into that like, oh, you've hit peak speed or whatever, your bonus, and you get that little like trail that follows behind you. Oh my, they have one, and I love it. It's just cheese. It's like it's just like little cuts of cheese, all sorts of different cheese, like cheddar, like pepper jack, like and it's, I love it. It is so funny. I don't know if you've ever seen that option, but you should totally.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite by far.
Yeah, I love the scarves you can get. Those are great.
But yeah, no, Runner 3, man, I couldn't recommend it enough. I love it.
Awesome. That's good to hear. I love the game. It's cool. Very cool game. But I think that'll do it for what we've been playing, right? We have some
teasers for next week.
Dude, I am just running. I am at a loss for words.
Yeah.
Yes, we have some teasers for next week.
Yep. I'm gonna be playing some Punch Club, which just came out for the Switch. I'm going to dive into that this week, and I'll give you guys the update next week, of course.
Yes.
And then Perry, what are you playing?
I got Yoku's Island Express, baby.
Ooh, and you know what's freaking insane, dude? That like, I knew about this, but like to just think about it, next week is our E3 predictions show, bro.
Oh my goodness!
Can you?
Mother of mercy. E3 predictions.
Oh, you better. I mean,
wow.
Oh man, I can't believe it. I mean,
you know what?
Getting all excited over here.
I need to go take a nap because I just got so excited. So let's take a break. I'll go take a nap and then we'll come back and do the eShop.
Get another cup of joe. And Perry, I'm scared because
I know this might be the biggest one yet.
This week we didn't write down the game. Sometimes, usually we do it in the doc. Sometimes we would just do it right off the eShop. And I'm jumping on the eShop, and I'm looking, and I'm like, I don't remember any of these. We didn't talk. Oh my God, there's like 25 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's get to lightning round.
The eShop Roundup. Yeehaw.
So if you don't know what this is where we go through the latest eShop releases. on the Switch. And we're gonna start off here with Tracks. Build It, Race It for $14.99. This is a 3D race or 3D racing game, and you can build your own tracks and play with race cars. Looks pretty cool. If you like that sort of thing. Next up, we've got Disco Dodgeball Remix for $11.99.
It looks like Tron. Like the graphics. It's very Tron-esque.
With a guy on a unicycle and a mustache.
Very weird. Very weird.
Very weird, yeah. It looks kind of cool, though. Actually, it looks like a lot of fun multiplayer game. Is that online?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Local multi or online multi, and they have a typo. It says multiplayer.
Ooh,
matches.
Maybe they've got lots of microtransactions. You'll be multi-paying for this game.
Yep.
Next up here, we've got Runner 3, a game we obviously just been talking about, for $29.99, or you can go get that beautiful physical copy, which I forget if it's $39.99.
I think it's $39. I think it's $39.
I think they give it to $10 for the goodies.
Oh, wow. Yep, I didn't realize this other collection was out. This next one. The Legacy Collection's out already.
Yes, sir. Yep, Mega Man Legacy.
Legacy Collection and Legacy Collection 2. The first one being $14.99 and the second one being $19.99. I'm very interested in the second one, and I might just pick this up when.
Well, the physical copy came out, and I believe they got rid of that big ugly download thing.
See, they don't need to have it. That's proof right there. You know, remember? And I was like, and then Wolfenstein has one too. It's a GameStop exclusive, but anyway, yeah. Shout out to Terrence on Twitter who
I was just gonna say, I believe it might have been him also who suggested, like, why not just print the big ugly one on the outside, or was that you?
Right.
And then have it printed again on the inside. Was it me?
Yeah, it was you, buddy.
Well, trying to give my credit away.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up here we've got a strange game, or at least title-wise, Dead Fun Pack, Penguins and Aliens Strike Again for $6.99. Yeah.
It's a pretty cool looking game.
I don't know, I'm seeing one of the screens looks exactly like a good old-fashioned Game & Watch.
Run and Die.
Yeah, I don't know, it looks...
Dude, this game looks pretty fun.
Little, weird platform shooter thing. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's all over the joint.
Let's see, what is it? It's a simple playability, colorful look, whatever. All right, $6.99. I don't know. It looks cool to me. Actually, the logo's awful, but anyway.
And the name.
Yeah, the name's kind of funny. But it's time for a hamster toss.
Ooh-wee.
And that is Arcade Archives Iki.
You so icky.
Yeah, this one, it looks very, you're a farmer, and then you have a goatee, and...
And then you got a goatee?
There's a scarecrow, are you throwing stuff? I don't know. Then you're, praising a mountain with a wizard floating.
You know, it's so funny, too, in-game language, Japanese only.
Oh.
But it probably doesn't have a lot of text, I would imagine.
Yep.
But moving along here, we've got I don't know if it's 6,180 the moon or 6180 the moon.
Yeah, bad title.
It clocks
$3.99.
Yep, $3.99, and it looks like a little platformer that sort of
a puzz form.
Yeah, it sort of gives me VVVV.
Yeah, you're a ball.
Just looking at it a little bit,
spikes
and spikes and
yeah. It looks fine, yeah. Especially
$3.99, nice discount price for you. Next up here, we've got Escape Game Aloha for $5.99. Can you escape this place? You're in a beautiful villa overlooking the sea in Hawaii. Yeah, so it looks like a little adventure puzzly game. But yeah, it's funny. I feel like those escape rooms usually take like a dark turn, you know, story-wise, but like this one's like nice, beautiful Hawaii vacation, and then all of a sudden there's like a shark on the beach and the ship's sinking and there's a cannon. I don't know.
Aloha, Casey. That
Hey.
also means goodbye.
Tell me about this next
$5.99.
game.
Yep, Super Sportmatchen. I just talked about it. It's a fantastic game. I believe you said it's $14.99, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And next up, we have ACA Neo Geo Top Players Golf.
Oh man, actually I wasn't worried at all. When I saw 20-something games, I knew there'd be a good old Neo Geo in there. We had nothing to worry about.
And another golf game, which I believe you're a big fan of the.
Yeah, the
other
Turf
golf game.
Masters.
Turf Masters
Was
right?
great. I actually curious how this one stacks up against it, because I tell you what, I think golf games are one of my favorite type of games ever. I just realized I love them.
Mm-hmm. You know what? We should reach out to Hamster and see if they can sponsor this podcast.
Yeah. We love Neo Geo and hamsters.
Yep. We love tossing hamsters and. Yep.
Next.
Anyway, what do we have next?
Oh man, Baobab's Mausoleum Episode 1. Omnifagos don't eat, and then it says don't eat flamingos.
Are you having a stroke?
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
$5.99. This I don't even know. This is an adventure / lifestyle / communication game.
Okay.
I don't know. The town of Flamingos Creek is a place that appears every 25 years in Albatross Road, a neighborhood that only appears in nightmares. Yeah, interesting. Sort of a cool art style, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, $5.99.
All right, what's next?
Next up, we've got Discovery for $7.99. And this looks like a Minecraft-inspired game, but it also looks like you've got 4-player split screen on there. Yeah. Explore a giant world made of blocks and modify it with your own creations. So,
Wonderful.
sounds like a cheap alternative to, price-wise cheap alternative to Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about this next game, Perry.
I would love to do that, but my eShop is going crazy, and it's not loading.
So let me take care of that for you. Next
You do
up
that
here,
for
we've
me.
got Zenbound 2 for $14.99. Wrap your head to bliss in Zenbound 2, the unique down-tempo indie game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a puzzle game. I'm guessing you slow down some sort of, this is an opportunity to slow down, zone out, and focus on tasks that challenges but not stressful. A set of gentle puzzles. All right.
Okay.
Moving
All right, now we're gonna
right
play
along.
a game. You're gonna say the name of it, and I'm gonna guess what kind of game it is.
All right, this one's gonna be pretty easy, I think. We've got Punch Club.
I
think it's $14.99, but since I have it downloaded, I don't know exactly.
I think this is a game where you play as a guy and you're in a club and you punch stuff, and you also train to get better punches.
Yeah. Again, I haven't gotten to start this yet, but from the little bit of research I've done, it's actually quite a bit of simulation as well. It's sort of like a fight management sim with RPG and tycoon elements, as they say here. So I believe, obviously the goal is to become a better fighter, but I believe there's a whole lot of other things that are involved as well. But again, we'll get into that next week when I get some time into it. Next up here, we have N++. For $14.99. You probably already know what this game is, I'd imagine.
I reviewed it for the site.
Well, then I hope you do.
Yeah, great platformer, and I forgot to talk about it this week.
Put it on the list for next week.
I just realized I completely didn't talk about it. I'll talk about it next week. It's a great platform. It's kind of a legendary platformer.
Ooh, setting the table for next week.
No. I just mean it's been around. It's been around for a long time.
Table big. Next up here, we've got Bloodstained Curse of the Moon for $9.99. Again, I'd imagine you'll be able to guess what this one is.
Yeah. Oh,
because you damn well know what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I really want this game.
Yeah, I bought this and I played like 2 seconds of it, and then I was like, all right, I need to finish some things, and I'm going to come back to this. But I am super stoked because Inti Creates is awesome. They've done a wonderful
yeah.
job with Blaster Master Zero and such, so I'm
Heck yeah.
very excited for this game. But
Yeah.
next up here, I guess we'll include this on the eShop Roundup, because why not? Mario Tennis Aces pre-launch online tournament free download. Get ready for this upcoming weekend when Aces will be available for a free demo for everyone to play and enjoy before it comes out later in June, which I was going to say next month, or this month, but anyway. Next up here, we've got, oh man, Enigmatis 2, is that?
I can't see it. My Switch is not.
Enigmatis. Enigmatis? Enigmatis? I don't know. The Mists of Ravenwood for $14.99.
If you can't read it, it's a bad name.
That or I'm just an idiot.
No.
I need to go back to the... anyway. This is a puzzle game, adventure...
you need to go back to dumb school.
Yeah. Yes. Now, I gotta tell you, the screens on this, I don't know if they're screens, but the pictures they have listed here look fantastic.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna take your word for it.
yes.
I don't know why, man, and it's not working.
Yeah, well, what a gym bot. All right, next up here we've got Jumping Joe and Friends for $4.99.
Okay.
Jump right into the action in this jolly pick-and-play platformer.
Pick and play.
Yeah, it looks like sort of a simplistic art style, as you can imagine, and it looks like each of your characters is just sort of a box, and they're all sorts of different characters. Like one is Shocky, which is actually a piece of bread with a cat face on it. Yeah, looks like a little platformer for $4.99.
All right.
Moving right along, we've got Jurassic Pinball for $1.99. This is a pinball game. Seems to be a lot of them.
All right.
This is from Enjoy Up Games, so it's not the Zen Pinball or anything. But, yeah, I don't know. It looks like maybe just one table. But for $1.99, I guess that might make sense. All right. We've got Mecha Storm for $19.99.
Mecha Storm. Let's see.
Fight
this is a
for the destiny of the galaxy.
Is this a shmup?
This is an action RPG, and actually, it looks sort of... I'm trying to think of that game. Oh, I'm forgetting the name. It was a mobile game, and it was like a mech fighter.
You lost me.
It
at mobile
eludes
game,
me.
buddy.
It was a mobile game, and it came to Switch, and it was actually pretty good on Switch. I was surprised, because I was thinking mobile game that it would not be that good. But
yeah.
The name's on like the tip of my tongue too.
It looked like Bayonetta. Kind of like. Is that like? I just mean like the gameplay kind of reminded me of Bayonetta. What I remembered of Bayonetta. It was the game. You have it, right?
Oh yeah, I bought it. I mean, I don't want to exit out of the eShop right now. I was gonna say I could go look, but anyway, moving right along here, we've got Dungeon Rushers for $14.99. This is your guess, right? What's your guess? Dungeon Rushers.
It's a roguelike.
A 2D tactical RPG combining dungeon crawling gameplay and turn-based fights.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, looks sort of cool. $14.99. Ooh, this one we'll be talking about a little bit later in the news block, but here it is on the eShop already. Pokemon Quest. Free download.
Oh, wow.
It's already up there for you guys to check out.
That's amazing.
We'll be, again...
I didn't even really know anything about this game.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's downloading on my... I was going to say 3DS almost. But it's on my Switch. Now, that is a mobile/Switch game. So you can actually play that either which way.
That's so cool. But we'll talk about that soon.
All right. Hold on one sec. Because that download kicked me dang old out of my spot here. Okay. Next up here, we have Harvest Moon Light of Hope SE Bundle. Special bundle, I guess. That
game is out?
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I think it dropped to literally today of recording, which is a Tuesday. So
I haven't heard anything about this game.
Yeah, I saw, I follow some people on Instagram that post, Nintendo related pictures and stuff, and I saw someone was like, "Hey, I picked it up," and I was like, "Man, what a fall from grace that Harvest Moon used to be like an event game, at least to some extent. Maybe not ever, as of some more recent years, not like it's a huge title, but like you said, this sort of just, it's like, oh really? Like that, like you said, it's like, oh, it got no hype at all, but this bundle right here is $49.99, and that comes with the bundle contents: Harvest Moon Light of Hope Special Edition, and then all the downloadable content: New Marriageable Characters Pack, Divine Marriageable Characters Pack, Docs.
Okay, we get it.
All sorts of packs there for your goodness.
I don't need any of your neeby-jeeby marriage packs.
Well, now that I'm running the eShop Roundup, I'll do what I want. I'm taking over.
Right now.
Next up here, we've got Shift Quantum for $19.99.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things about this.
This is a puzzle platformer. It's got like the sort of relying on the black and white and gray sort of aesthetic, and it actually looks really, really wonderful. Like this one screen right here it's sort of like it's got the spikes in the ground are all sort of a solid black color, and then you've got your character, but then in the background is sort of like a cityscape, but it's sort of in that gray. I don't know. It just looks really cool. Yeah, $19.99. That might be a game worth checking out. Moving right along here as we keep chug-a-lugging along in this big old eShop Roundup, we've got Legend of K Anniversary for $29.99. Did you play it?
Nope.
Do you know anything about it?
It's like a 3D platformer, like from the PS2, I believe, and it's like remastered, and apparently it was pretty good back then, and it's it's pretty good by modern standards as well. But yeah. Yeah,
I like the look of it. It definitely has that sort of nostalgic 3D
Mascot
graphics, but
3D,
sort of brought into the HD world, where it's not fuzzy and blurry to look at.
Like Crash Bandicoot trilogy.
Yeah, along those lines for sure. Next up, we've got Fallen Legion Rise to Glory for $39.99. Can you guess on this one, Perry?
It is a sand volleyball meets shmup.
How did you know?
Well,
no, this is, they dub it an action game, but it sort of looks like an RPG. Return to the battlefield of Phenuma, where say anything? I don't know. It's saying action game. Sort of looks like a little bit of an RPG-ish kind of game to me. Maybe a little bit mixture of both. But moving along here, because we got more games to talk about, Perry.
And do we do? How?
Yes, Dive for Valhalla.
Oh yeah, we just talked about that one. Next.
Again, I purchased this, so I don't know if it's $14.99, but I think it might be $19.99. Don't know for sure. Alrighty, Knights of Pen and Paper +1 Deluxer Edition. Deluxier Edition?
I believe that our resident David Lloyd reviewed this for
yes,
our
he did.
resident site, NintendoWorldReport.com. Go check it out.
The RPG man.
On.
Yep. Alrighty, we've got Yuko's Island Express.
Yoku's. Not Yuko's.
I say what I want.
You ding-a-ling.
Now, this is $19.99, and this is a game we checked out at PAX, and I believe Perry has been playing it as well. And
yep, and you'll hear about it next week. It's fantastic.
Yeah, cool little
pinball
platformer.
I'd get it. So.
All right. Well, this. All right. You also have the Harvest Moon Light of Hope Special Edition. That is not the bundle, but we don't really need to talk about that. All right, We're in the home stretch here, Perry. 2 more to go.
Ooh, baby.
Do you want the game that I would be interested in first, or do you want that one second?
First.
Okay, Ikaruga.
Oh, yeah.
That came out just today for $14.99. Of course, this is I was going to say famously fun GameCube game, but I don't know how famous it was. But I know I played it back in the day.
Yeah.
And
oh, you did?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a really cool sort of shoot 'em up, but like with changing. Sort of has that fast RMX, or really, I guess it would be the opposite way, where it's sort of changing your ship's color to coordinate with picking up certain things or attacking certain enemies. And it's really frantic and a lot of fun. They added online leaderboards and stuff, so definitely cool stuff. And then with that, it brings us to our very last game here on the eShop Roundup. And I wonder if people are probably gonna be like, "Man, this eShop Roundup was so good." Casey saying all the games, not having to listen to Perry. That or they're like, "This guy can't even read." You pervert.
Yuko?
Yeah, you're a pervert. All right, we've got 12 games in one for our final game here in the eShop Roundup. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection for $39.99, and that includes 12 arcade classics in one collection, Perry. One collection.
Wow.
I just wonder how many of them are Street Fighter 2 variants.
Yeah. Well, we do have a Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection review on our website that everyone can go check out. Written by Neil. He gave a good score. Features a lot of different things. Yes, so
It's a fighting game.
I'm not interested. I just, it's too much. It's too much. You know?
Too many games.
Too many games, Case. But is that it, really?
That's
Are we
it.
done? I don't know why. My Switch isn't connected to the internet now.
We've gotten through all of those games.
That means it's time for
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
Oh, yeah, baby. It is news time. Now, we've got some news here, and we just had a big blowout piece of news.
huge.
So,
Yes.
let's get through
get on with it.
Yeah, we'll get through the first ones. The first little bit of news here we've got, which is just sort of funny. Earlier today, it is Tuesday the 29th of recording, Bethesda sort of started live streaming on Twitch, and yeah, it was the Fallout sort of, I think someone said it was the Fallout 4 screen, but one of the Fallout like sort of standby screens, and and you had the little bobblehead of I forget that guy's name, like the mascot for Fallout 4.
Fallout Boy?
Pip Boy, I don't know, whatever. It was just a bobblehead with that screen in the background, and they started streaming. So naturally, everyone got pretty stoked, thinking like, okay, we're gonna get some news here, and that puppy just rode out all day, and nothing really came of it. But what was funny is the occasional person would come onto the screen and do something, just sort of like randomly, and like the one person, she came on the screen with one of those like noise makers that you blow into and it sort of rolls out, and like just people doing silly little things all day. So I think I saw on Twitter. Nothing yet. I think I saw on Twitter they said last tease Bethesda did was like they teased it and then the next day or 2 days later they revealed it. So I'd imagine by the time you listen to this, there will be some bit of news.
Okay.
Whether it's Switch related or not, I mean, to me it sounds like, I think if they were going to do a Fallout 5 or like a real big DLC for Fallout 4, that would probably be saved to E3. So like maybe like hey, Fallout 4 is coming to Switch, or I know a lot of people are holding out for Fallout 3, but
see, right now I'm just thinking like in the future, people listening to this episode, it's a good little chronicle of the time before, like after this tease and before the announcement. And the announcement could be Fallout 4 for Switch. They'd be like, hey, look at this time when they didn't know about it, but they knew about it.
The little pocket of time, yes, between the...
A little pocket of time, yep.
Now,
that's great.
What's funny is, one last bit on this, at one point there was 140,000 people watching a bobblehead on stream, just waiting. And I thought that was pretty funny that many people chimed in.
They're trolling.
They're trolling.
They see me trolling.
You know who was not trolling? Nintendo, when they said they were going to support that freaking 3DS till the end of time, because we've got a brand new new 2DS XL coming, the Hyrule Shield Edition.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the official name. That's just what I wrote. And it is absolutely gorgeous.
Yep. Too bad it's a 2DS, but
yeah, it looks real cool. $159.99. It comes out July 2nd, and I believe it comes with a Link Between Worlds, pre-installed.
Which is so funny because that game is like one of the coolest 3D games on there, and it's just
no 3D for you though.
Never. Don't play it on 2D. Ugh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it looks pretty cool. It looks like the Ocarina of Time shield.
It'd be one of those if I had a lot of expendable
if you had
income.
Unlimited resources.
Yeah, it'd be like I'd be purchasing one of those and putting it up on the shelf. But
Yep.
But yes. Now this next news I know is sure to get Perry very excited, and that is some Mega Man 11 talk.
I don't hate Mega Man, so let's not
hates
start
him.
that.
I heard before he
I
texted
don't
me,
hate
he said,
Man.
the only thing I hate more than that blue son of a gun Sonic is that other blue son of a gun Rockman.
Cola. And that blue son of a gun, yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
They changed back to their retro cans.
Give me Mighty Number 9 over Mega Man.
Boo! Oh man, you just made some enemies.
Kidding.
But yes,
no, I don't believe that at all, actually. But yeah, Mega Man 11.
Yeah, the first numbered Mega
trailer.
Man game in 8 years, and it will release on October 2nd, both physically and on the eShop. And pre-ordering it will include an alternate soundtrack option as DLC, so that's sort of cool. Now, what's also cool, if you are still into collecting amiibos, which
heck yeah,
they have an amiibo edition, which it's pretty much a collector's edition, but they've dubbed it the Amiibo edition, which comes with the game and some stickers, I believe 4 stickers, a Dr. Wily patch, and a actual pretty cool little those little cloths. But it has like the stage select screen on it, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then of course it comes with the Amiibo, brand new Mega Man Amiibo, different pose, looks pretty nice. And I believe that Mega Man 11 digitally will be $29.99, and this Amiibo edition, I believe, is $59.99. So they're saying, I mean, I guess for the physical copy, what's it usually up $10? I guess with the Amiibo is usually what, $13-ish dollars. So I guess it makes sense to be around $60. And it's apparently a GameStop exclusive as well.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty. Yes. Moving along to our last bit of news before the haymakers start rolling in. Slime Son Physical Edition through Limited Run Games is, we've finally heard word on the game and when the pre-order will go live. June 8th, which is just a little over a week away. That should be exciting. I am very excited to pre-order that puppy.
I can't even. There might even be some sort of exclusive information about that comes out in our next segment.
But how would we know?
Exactly. That's why I said maybe.
Yeah, you're probably wrong.
Well, because we are going to do an interview with him. So.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, haymakers.
That Neb Myler, he's easy to trick into giving away secrets.
Old Neb. All right, so now let's get into the big news here. Just a few hours, pretty much this morning, there was some rumblings. I saw some people posting on Twitter talking about a possible Pokemon announcement coming later this evening, which would actually be Wednesday morning in Japan. And then, those talks started to heat up. I started to see more people on Reddit and stuff sort of talking about it. And then finally it was confirmed, like, hey, you better sort of pay attention. We got some Pokemon news coming to you. And we start out with Pokemon Quest announced for the Switch. It's also available for smartphones. Now, this is a spin-off title. And like I said, it's going to be for both mobile and Switch. And it's available right now for free. And it's the game features Pokemon hunting on islands, with only the first 151 Pokemon confirmed for now, and a system deciding which Pokemon are available. It was developed internally at Game Freak, and the new game will feature
That's
items
cool.
that can be used to customize your voxel-shaped monsters. So it is in that sort of like little cubey-esque art style.
Yeah.
So it's actually sort of funny to see like a Blastoise in like little box form. But yeah,
that sounds amazing.
yeah, I mean, the cool thing is it's obvious. I mean, it's for free and you can download it right now. So it makes sense to just sort of give it a shot if you're at all interested.
I would if I could just connect to the internet.
Too bad. I'll be playing all day. Well, probably not.
I'm just trying to find a video of this. I can't find. I haven't even watched this thing yet.
Yeah, me either. I'm reading off some bits. This, of course, this dropped right while we were recording a certain segment you're about to listen to in a couple minutes. But yes,
you let the cat out of the bag.
Now,
but yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it makes sense. Pokemon is huge, so like, let's get a mobile game going for it. You know, like I know they already have Pokemon Go, but like, why not? You know, sort of milk that cow while you can, and they will be doing some milking here on the Switch. Although this next game doesn't seem like milking at all. It seems like a legitimate game to be excited about. And that is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee officially announced. Of course, we talked about these rumors just I guess a couple weeks ago at this point. I think it was 2 weeks ago they sort of reared their head. And we finally got some more official information on this. They will release for the Switch November 16 in the 2 versions, of course, starring Pikachu and Eevee. The game will feature split Joy-Con co-op play as well as online interactions. These are
Joy-Con co-op play.
Yeah, these are reimaginings of the 1998-1999 release of Pokemon Yellow, and you'll now get to choose between Pikachu and Eevee as your starting Pokemon. They'll always be with you, the starters that is, but they don't necessarily have to be on the battle team. So that's sort of cool. Like, they'll always be, you know, I guess following you, sort of similar to that, the Yellow with Pokemon, with Pikachu. Unlike previous Pokemon titles, the storage system will always be accessible. Only the original 151 Pokemon will be in the game, but variants will be present, such as Alola forms and Mega Evolutions. Now, the interesting thing is that Pokemon Go will be heavily integrated into Let's Go. I mean, obviously right there in the title of the game. As Pokemon Caught and Go can be transferred to the Switch game through a version of the Safari Zone. A controller shaped like Pokeball can also be used either to give your Pokemon experience while walking or as a controller for Let's Go for the sequences which include Go-style Pokemon ball throwing. So that is actually like a completely separate device you can purchase.
At the trailer, it looks like you don't even fight.
Yeah, no, see, I think I saw on Reddit that someone thought that too. It's like the way they announced it made it look like there was going to be no combat, but I believe there's still, like, it's a normal game with these extra elements added, you know?
Okay, I hope so, because it sounds awful if there's no fighting.
Yeah, no, I'm almost 100% positive. Let's see.
I mean, I see battles happening, but it's just like when like catching Pokemon, I don't see any of those. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe part of the catching is just more exploration based in that sense. But yeah. To go on to sort of ride out what we have here. Last little bit.
I like the Pikachu Eevee thing, which is cool.
Pokemon Go will have Pokemon following the train. Oh, Pokemon Let's Go will have Pokemon following the trainer, and the trainer will ride that Pokemon in certain situations, such as riding Lapras while surfing. HM moves will not take up move slots, which is always good. The Pokemon Company has confirmed that these games are part of the 7th generation of Pokemon that began with Sun and Moon in 2016. The 8th generation will begin in the second half of 2019 on Switch. So, to me, it seems like this was sort of like, hey, like, we can't rush the, the first game in the next generation proper. We can't rush that. And now you're switching from like the non-HD into HD, so they're gonna have to do all those character models for existing Pokemon and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this all plans out. I mean, for me, I played the original Pokemon back in the day. That's when I got in Blue and Red. Those are some of my favorite Pokemon games. So I think I'm sort of on like a every other year Pokemon play. So I didn't play Ultra Sun and Moon, but I did play Sun and Moon. So I think I'll probably pick up one of these games when they come out in November.
You sick man.
Yeah.
Maybe I will too. You never know.
I'll probably pick up the Eevee version. Although I don't know. That Pikachu, he's something else.
Okay, I'll pick up both.
I'll buy them both.
I wonder how much these are going to cost.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about too. Because what they are running in like the Sun and Moon engine with updated like HD
nice.
graphics. Yeah, like they're.
It does look nice.
Yeah, they're. I mean, to me, I thought the Sun and Moon looked nice. I know some people didn't like the style, but I thought it looked nice. And now you bring them into HD, you're obviously going to look even nicer. But yeah, I mean, to me, I downloaded that Quest game. I'll try that out and see what the deal is. But I'm excited for Pokemon Let's Go. I'm more excited to sort of get on to Reddit and see what people are saying. Like I wonder what everyone else feels. Because I'm not like a huge Pokemon fan, so it's like. Like I said, I play every other year essentially. I go in, I play like the main like story, do a little messing around with that, and then sort of like, all right, I had my fill. But is this gonna be something where it's like it sort of keeps those hardcore Pokemon fans like, here's a little something, here's a little appetizer, to enjoy, and then we'll give you what you really want next year. Like, is that going to be something they're going to eat up, or is it going to be something where it'll be like turned off? I don't know.
Right.
To me, I think people might be a little disappointed it's not like the full-on next generation yet, but I don't know. I think the response will be positive, by the time it releases and stuff.
Yeah. I just worry that, this is what, it just seems like Pokemon is becoming more and more and more and more accessible, and just watering itself down. I know everyone knows this, but it's just, for someone with me, I like Pokemon. I love Pokemon, the original, and like growing up with it, and Pokemon's great, right? But it's just, I like challenge too. So I don't know. It's kind of like Kirby, in that it's like if it's just not hard and it's just really the same thing, and they made it. That's the thing with X and Y. Even it just made it way too easy to get through. Like just everything was just accessible, and it's like to a point that's the good, but then if you go too far, it just kind of makes it dull. So that's all I'm worried about. So yeah, well, I'm excited to learn more about this, and I think it makes sense. I think the everything about it makes sense. It's a smart financial move. It's a smart move for everyone. People who are nostalgic for Pokemon Yellow. I do think it's weird that it's not called something Yellow. Yeah,
to really drive home that point of like, hey, if you liked Pokemon back then, try it out. It's going to feel familiar but new. Yeah.
But yeah, they need to be taking advantage of their Pokemon Go, which has been downloaded over 800 million times.
Yeah, I saw that. That's absolutely ridiculous.
That's insane.
But yeah, I don't know. I think this game will play pretty similar to how other games have played. Of course, with like the Go integration, I'm curious to see how important that is. Like, can you dumb it down if you don't want to do that Go stuff and still be able to get through the game, without having to, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I have to do this. Like I wonder if it's I could sort of ignore all those features.
I do not like Pokemon Go, but yes.
Because to me, I think this will probably be more of the same, more, with some Go integration where I think once we get that Pokemon in 2019, I feel like if they're going to shake up any of the formula, like that's going to be it, Like obviously you're going to be, like everything's going to be different because it's going to be the first like built from the ground up engine-wise for a 3D HD platform, you know what I mean? So I think if they're going to have any drastic changes, you know, or if they want to try and implement some things like differently, like that's really when we're going to start seeing it, you know.
Right.
But yeah, interesting stuff. What I find
Very
sort of
interesting.
funny is that they never they didn't hype up this thing at all. And I know it was like a Japanese press conference, like it wasn't live streamed.
Well, they did a micro hype before.
Yeah.
They did, they did
The old micro hype.
the old micro hype.
I like it. But yeah, you
Yes.
think if they'd done this 2 days ago, it'd be 2 days of Pokemon talk. But you know what? I guess Pokemon's so big. It's like, does it really even need the hype beforehand? It's like, whatever. They know people are going to, be foaming at the bit to play this.
Absolutely. Yep, exactly. And that's why it's like, I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they're cool. It's like, I just don't know if it's for me. That's okay. Not everything's for me. I get it. I get it, Casey.
Like you said, fast forward, we're like, man, I love Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah. And it could totally be that too. But, well, that's it for the news. Crazy amount of news that happened. That I feel bad for the listeners because it came out where we really don't know anything about it. Like, because we know a little bit, just like what but we've had no time to actually learn about stuff. So bear with us.
Yeah, if all of a sudden some information comes out that we didn't touch on, or like, oh, those idiots, like if they just watched the video. Yeah,
I've literally seen like a trailer while Casey was talking about this. So,
yeah, it's
without listening to it. So, but yes, I do believe that we have a new segment coming. An interview coming up with the Fabraz guys right after this break. But before we go to the break, I do something I feel like we're gonna forget about the giveaway we're going to be doing this week.
I was just thinking that.
So let's do it now, and then hopefully we can. Maybe I'll add something. I'll edit something.
No, this will be good. If people are listening, they will still get it, and it'll be up on Twitter, of course.
That's cool. Because there is going to be a listener exclusive giveaway.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a $10 eShop giveaway, but also Perry's going to be adding a special little giveaway part for the podcast here, and that is something from your Craigslist find, right? And now it's going to be, we're not going to tell you what it is. You might not even have this item yet, right? You don't even know what it is yet.
Right. Yeah, see, I don't know if I should give them the choice of what they want or just to send them a random thing.
I think it would be maybe, like, if I were you, I'd pick the random thing and then, like, be like, do you have this console, you know? Like, say it's like a Super Nintendo game, like, it would be sort of beat to be like...
I should be like, do you have a Super Nintendo? And then send them, like, an Xbox 360 game.
Or just say, an actual Super Nintendo. Like, this is the best giveaway ever.
I should send them, like, a package, like, of just stupid crap. And then, like, the next day send another one with the actual thing. Troll them on it.
Boom. Yeah. Gotcha.
But yeah, that will be a listener. So only if you're listening to this right now do you know about this. So what the deal is just email us. You can email Casey at NintendoWorldReport.com, Perry at NintendoWorldReport.com, or of course Talk Nintendo Podcast at NintendoWorldReport.com. Email us and just put Craigslist giveaway in the.
No. Say, give me that loot. That should be the.
Give me that loot.
That should be the title.
Or I want an Xbox 360 game.
Or screw Perry. But yeah, email us in for that special giveaway here for you listeners.
I guarantee you, listeners, if you do this, you will have a very good chance. Last time I did this, I think there was only like 6 people that did it. So
yeah, your odds are in your favor.
Super good.
Now, for the details on the $10 eShop gift card, jump over to Talk Nintendo Pod. What is that, Perry? Talk Nintendo.
POD.
I screwed that up. That's Talk Nintendo.
POD.
There we go. Yes, and that'll have all the details for you guys and gals to enter to win that. But yeah, let's take a quick little breather because I believe we have a couple gentlemen waiting to talk to us.
Okay, a few gentlemen.
A few good men.
Welcome back to the Talk Nintendo podcast, and we're here with some special friends. That's it. Yes, the Slime Son guys from Fabraz. We have Edgar Castro.
Hello.
Hello. We have, of course, Fabian Rastifer.
Hey,
And then, of course, it wouldn't be Slime Son guest without Ned Myler.
Hello. That's definitely my name.
We're very happy to have you here, especially today.
Yeah.
That's not at all threatening or worrying.
Yeah, so it's a big day for Fabraz. It's exciting times. We have Spirit Sphere, their first self-published game, coming out soon, and we have their limited run release that I predicted a while back. Is happening. It's totally happening. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy. We're going to talk about that. But first, what I really am interested in talking about is Bit Summit in Japan. Now,
yes.
Was it just Fabian that went, or did you all go? Or
no, all three of us were there.
Yeah.
Oh, you all three went there. Cool. So, we haven't really covered Bit Summit at all on the show. And I just know from, our friends in Japan, like Danny Bivens, who runs the Famicast, I just known about it, and I've heard so many cool things, like it's a condensed, I've kind of heard it like it's a condensed packs full of like really cool games that are, is there an emphasis on like pixel? Is that
I think
pixel
it's
games? Is that?
It's an interesting topic that you bring up because I kind of noticed a similar trend where here in the West, oftentimes you hear now that there's pixel art fatigue, right? Because people have experienced it a lot through indie games, and that there's now because of this kind of fatigue, some people have an inherent like, I don't want to play it as a pixel art game kind of thing. I haven't noticed that too much myself, but I have heard it happen to other games. And
right. Oh yeah,
in Japan, that is really not the case. I'd argue that half of the indie game scene right now there is using pixel art easy. It's still incredibly popular. The fatigue there is definitely not there. And yeah, you can totally tell in Bit Summit too that that's the case.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, so tell me about like, how long is it? How pumped were you to go? I mean, you were showing off Slime Son and Spirit Sphere?
No, only Slime Son in this case.
Only Slime Son. Okay.
Yeah, because we teamed up with Kakehashi Games, which is a local publisher over there, to basically update the Japanese release of Slime Son for the Switch and prepare it for the PlayStation 4 release. So that's why we were there to like showcase it, and that went amazing. But yeah, Bit Summit is incredible, and condensed is pretty much the right word. It's the most condensed venue of talent I have ever experienced, and I've been to like all three of us have been to so many expos at this point.
Right.
It's only 2 days, and it all fits within a small hall where you can walk from one end to the other within genuinely like 30 seconds.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it's tiny, but it's packed with, you've got your Sony booth, you've got your Nintendo booth, you even got Xbox booth, which I was surprised by in Japan because Xbox isn't that big there.
Right.
Then you've got all of the indies, represented through the Indie Mega booth for Westerners, and then just individual Japanese indies. But what's so incredible is that it's literally just indie games, like not a single AAA game. So even at the Nintendo booth, they would be showcasing indies like for the Nintendo Switch.
So Nintendo
same
had
at
a booth
Sony,
there.
same at Microsoft. Yeah. And that's what's so unusual, because usually when you have a Nintendo booth, they will show off their own IPs or some big AAA titles. Like at PAX with Wolfenstein and games like that, basically.
Yeah.
No, it's really fascinating, and the people there are all just. Basically, the irony is we were there and we knew half of the people, even though we were across the globe in Japan, just because it's such a condensed, incredible.
Right.
Well, I was going to say, what's the focus? Is it mainly towards like consumers, so it's just normal people coming in and getting to play these, or is it trying to sort of do a media push or sort of the PAX thing where you get the combination?
I'd say it's a little bit industry and like in terms of networking outside of the events and in between, but otherwise you have essentially just have normal visitors, even a good amount of kids.
Yeah,
cool.
the close analogy probably is PAX, just kind of like you guys are saying, like just so condensed and focused and distilled in terms of what's actually shown there and who's actually present.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, it's something that like ever since I've heard about it, I've been fascinated because it's a reason I want to go to Japan, and like that seems like a perfect opportunity.
We've all said to each other at Bit Summit that Bit Summit is half just an excuse to go to Japan.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's that makes sense.
Well, next year if you guys need someone to carry your bags or something, you just let me know. Maybe work something out.
Yeah.
Is it difficult? I mean, I'm assuming you guys don't speak Japanese. Maybe you do. I could be wrong on that. But is it weird, sort of trying to communicate with, this sort of language barrier there?
It definitely can be. And there's definitely also some like just basic ways of interaction that one has to get used to. I mean, the most famous one is how business cards are exchanged, where you have to hand it over with two hands. And when you receive the card, you have to be incredibly thankful and not like just fold it into your pants pocket, because that'd be disrespectful. so it's totally different, because like the US is like, okay, whatever, he give me your business card, I'll call you later kind of thing. So there's definitely a couple of different customs, but otherwise in terms of translations, if you don't have an interpreter, it gets difficult. Luckily, BitSummit provides quite a few.
Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, I figure there's. Just imagine the three of you guys sitting there. Yeah, this is Slime-san, and someone comes up like, Hatoshi Naikai Moyako. You're like, yes, and like, you're like, wait a second.
Pre-orders for the physical June 8th. Yes.
I'm like, yeah, like Ben. Everyone's just looking at Ben. Do you know what to do here?
I had to rely on just a lot of meaningful nods and thumbs ups.
Yeah. Yep. Now, I mean, luckily, like, if people haven't traveled out of the country, many countries speak English like a lot, like have it like posted everywhere. Like I know I've been in Romania, and like almost everything there is in Romanian and then has English next to it. I don't know. I mean, is that the same in Japan, or is there a lot of English like posted everywhere?
Like subway stations and stuff, yeah. General public spaces have some, but it's obviously less. And there's definitely moments where you kind of just have to do a bit of guesswork. Shut up, Alexa.
It could be worse. It could have been the creepy laugh.
Yeah, that's funny. Cool. Well, I mean, like, do you guys have any like stories from the trip? Like anything that happened that was funny or cool? Or did you meet anyone that like that that
I know
fans
you guys
of
did some shopping too, right?
Yes, of course. You can't go to Japan and not just buy some like ridiculous stuff.
I'm super jealous of your WarioWare.
Yeah. I decided to this time really splurge on handheld stuff, because when I was in Japan before, bought a Famicom or other like larger consoles, but this time I was like, you know what, I'm going to buy some Game Boy Advance games, and I'm going to get myself a Neo Geo Pocket, because I never had one, which is so cool to have now.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, it probably looks awesome playing on the like original hardware for the Neo Geo Pocket.
No, it's fantastic, except I forgot the days of not having a backlit screen. So there was an evening I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play tonight. It's not a little of Neo Geo Pocket. Oh, actually, no, I can't. No.
Oh yeah, I forgot that they used to be unplayable.
It just brings back memories of trying to play like 2-player 4 swords linked between 2 GBAs without a backlight.
Dude, always growing up. I mean, my Pokemon playing on the way home from like my grandma's house when it was dark outside, only playing when the street lights passed, like looking and then like, okay, now, and then like, totally.
I literally
got 8 steps
on the road trips.
Yeah, I cannot believe that was a thing. It lasted for so long, even though Japan was always ahead of us with the Game Boy Light. Those sons of guns. Oh, that's what I want to get. I wonder how available those are. A Game Boy Light.
I haven't seen them around, so I don't know.
Yeah.
They're probably pricey.
They probably are, but yeah. Cool. So if you were to rank, or not rank, if you were to give it out of 10 your trip to Bit Summit, what was it?
Easily around a 9 for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, it's an awesome conference and just general trip experience.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yeah, if Ben wasn't there, it was a 10, but
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's hard to do a business, you know?
I like to think, nothing can be too perfect. It's kind of like nothing deserves a true A+.
I don't know, because then I play games like The Wind Waker, and I just think that's an A+.
A++.
A++. Now let's cool. Thank you for telling me more about Bit Summit. I will go to that someday if it keeps happening.
I mean, I'm gonna try to go there again next year for sure.
Yeah, totally worth it.
So how about we have some sake together when we're there next year?
Yes,
that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. But I unfortunately we could not get Martino on the show from Endhorn Games
because he's in Japan right now, actually.
Oh, is he there?
Mm-hmm. That's why the time difference is so difficult right now.
Yeah,
he's watching the Pokemon event.
Yeah, he's at the Pokemon event. Yeah, but I want to talk about Spirit Sphere DX because that's coming out very, very soon. At least, I think so, right?
I wish we would have made your birthday, my friend, but
no, that's okay.
we are currently in lot check. It bounced back once, which is totally normal.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm feeling pretty confident it's going to go through. But then there's the scheduling for release and stuff. So my guess would be right now, early July will be around the time when it releases. Cool. And I couldn't be more excited for it. That game has shaped up to be beautiful. Up to the last week, Martino still worked like crazy to add new little features.
Really?
And improve little things. Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah.
The game is great. As he put himself, what we ended up managing by signing him on is doubling his dev time on the game.
Really?
Yeah, and I think that shows in the game, and it shows now. It's really a quality title that I know that sounds like I'm trying to just sell it, but I'm genuinely just looking forward to playing it with friends at home. And
totally,
that's the best part.
Yeah. Our true ulterior motives are coming true of just having another hangout game.
Yep.
Yeah. We can attest. We got to play it at PAX and got to beat Perry down, which is always an enjoyable time. So.
Oh, man. Yeah, I did not win one game.
Oh, the best was, I don't know if we told you. We might have, because I'm pretty sure I told everyone because it was awesome. But
he only tries to tell people about stuff like this.
Perry was kicking Justin Nation's butt. He was up like, he needed one more goal. And I was like, don't worry, Justin, you got this.
It was like 4-1.
Yeah, he didn't score another goal the rest of the day.
Justin was like, oh, man, I think Perry has it this time. And Casey's like, nope, he's the ultimate choke champion. Like, don't worry, he'll come back. And then Justin scored 4 goals
like clockwork,
and I lost.
What was your guys' favorite character at the end? Like playing it at the PAX?
Gotta be Jimmy.
Gotta be Jimmy.
Jimmy
the dwarf. I do like him. I also.
Like, who's Jimmy? I don't remember playing as him.
Well, that's why when you posted that, I love those.
I
literally you've been doing.
Ben and Eka can tell you. I literally laughed out loud in the office when I was like, "That's Jimmy."
Though he did not give us context, so this actually makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we are subconsciously trying to name that character Jimmy. And
what do you mean trying? His name's Jimmy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
game or not.
That. Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy and Felicia. I mean, that sounds right to me.
It does. That sounds amazing.
What we're gonna have to do is get David to make a manual for it, and then instead of dwarf, we'll have Jimmy there. So it'll be canon.
That is happening. That is so happening.
I also like the cart. I forget the name.
Oh, Fennel.
Yeah. Yes. I liked the mobility, being able to sort of shoot last second, like, oh shit.
I mean, we've talked about a bunch on the podcast about Spirit Sphere, about the how it plays, how it's a racketing game. I mean, where It's like tennis.
It's like Link
but
to
it's
the
also
Past.
like it's like Link to the Past tennis slash what's the other that we're going for? I mean, like badminton. I mean, there's
Pong, maybe.
Pong. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bunch. It's like all that put together, but with like super different characters to play with, and not just palette swaps. So I just can't wait to dig into those and really figure out the best. And then when I get to play Casey again, I'm going to murder him. That's the thing.
Might be the only way you win.
Yeah. If I murder you in real life.
Yeah.
No babies involved.
Yeah. But yeah, that I would like I guess we don't have too much more time for this section, but I mean, like how did you get, like, where did it all come from? Like, where did the Spirit Sphere come from? Where it's like, I mean, I know that, like, I've heard that you were fans of it on Steam, right? Or was it during development that you were fans of it, or
both? I mean, I basically followed Martino's Twitter account when he was just dev tweeting, essentially just GIFs of development. Bought it on the day it released on Steam, and then followed a little bit afterwards and kind of noticed that it didn't do as strongly as I was hoping it would.
Well, yeah, it's on
So
Steam.
was it just dumb luck finding him on Twitter then, as far as the devs tweets go?
Dumb luck as far as it goes in terms of like doing the right tweets and the right hashtags that it somehow landed on my timeline.
Well, and you're both developers that are Japanese-centric pixel games. I mean, like, it's bound to happen.
Definitely, yeah.
There's dozens of us.
Yes, and then you just reached out, and that's so cool that with I mean, the Switch was the Slimestone's big, like, it's the Switch game, right? I mean, that's the biggest, and so it's so cool that we're seeing, like, I think the developer of what's that game, the now I can't think of it, but it's
that one.
I
know that one.
The Viking game, where
Wolverblade.
Yes.
Oh,
they just showed their sales, right? Which was like 3 times the amount or something.
Yeah, and it shows like that, and I just like, I mean, it shows that Switch has that really niche, cool audience that wants games, that buys games, that it might be smaller than the rest, but
but not by, I mean, with the way the growth is going, not for long.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. I think the big difference is because the eShop, obviously, we all agree needs to a certain degree a bit of work now, but it's the reason why it still works for indie games is because the mentality is there. People genuinely want indie games on their Switch, and I wonder if it's partially because it allows you to go and play it on the go. I feel like that's essentially the biggest appeal.
I think it is because, I mean, a lot of those indie games on Steam are more bite-sized experiences, and I don't know. I mean, I've always just enjoyed playing more with a controller, and I know you can get a controller for the PC, but I don't know. I think the portability factor really is a huge driving point there, more than I could have ever imagined it would have been, especially with the indie scene. But yeah, it seems like that is like where Steam used to be the indie spot. Now it's the Switch.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, and that's exciting because I own a Switch and that's what I play. So now I'm drowning in.
And you also talk about it sometimes on a podcast.
I sure do. I sure do. But remember, we were here in the Wii U days.
Yep.
You remember that. So
it's like Shawshank, man. We crawled through the garbage.
It's like you're Vietnam.
Back in the long ago times.
There were days when I didn't have games to play, and so I would actually go back and play games that I've already played before. That actually happened.
Oh,
now I can't even imagine that. Now, yeah. So this is all good stuff. So, well, we are super excited for Spirit Sphere. I mean, like, amazingly excited.
I'm happy.
You know what I'm also amazingly excied for? Is this Slimestone physical edition. And now I got a question for you gentlemen here. I'm looking at the tweet from Limited Run Games, and I'm seeing this beautiful physical copy, and I see it says standard edition.
Yes.
That would almost imply that there might be another edition.
Yeah, and I don't see any word here on Twitter about a collector's edition or anything. What do you guys say about that?
Yeah, you must know. I mean,
You know what? I just might know. No, in all seriousness, I'm pretty sure I can say this. There is gonna be a collector's edition box coming up.
woo!
And it's freaking
Casey type up an
rad.
article right now.
Is there a Ben Amiibo in there?
There's a Myler amiibo.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be incredible because what it includes is a steelbook case that then also has the regular version within it, full manual, CD soundtrack, 2 postcards, a poster. It's wild.
Oh man,
baby.
that sounds. Now, is that going to be going up on the 8th as well, or is that going to be something that?
Yes, so
okay.
it's gonna go up on the 8th too, and I think we'll be tweeting about it more in the next couple of days.
Wonderful. Awesome. That's what I'm getting. You got 2 already sold.
Yep, trust me. Right now, the 3 of us, Ecker, Ben, and I, are probably the ones looking forward to having it in our hands the most.
Yeah, no, I can.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Oh, and the reversible cover looks so sweet. That art you got is wonderful.
Oh, it looks so good.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm really happy with both. I mean, the reversible cover is Dell, which she did the poster for Blackbeard's Kraken, which that's the image that it was for, which looks fantastic, of course. And then the new cover I'm really happy by too. It's by Trudy Castle. She now works at oh shit, now I forgot the name.
The Red Hook, Darkest Dungeon, Red Hook.
Darkest Dungeon, there we go. She works on that game. That cover also turned out fantastic. So really happy. It feels like a celebration, which feels right. Because the Switch release was in August, so we're pretty close and to a year since then, which is crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. So this really feels, this whole collector's edition, this whole limited run stuff just feels like a fantastic celebration, which is just so nice.
Yep.
It's a good way to celebrate.
Me.
Yep. All just because he walked up to us at PAX.
I could swear, PAX 2017. I could swear that on the first time that you guys were on, that I literally said, like, I can't wait to have it on my shelf right here. Like I was like,
but is it something that you just say to every dev and like eventually it's gonna stick?
No.
He hedges his bet by saying it to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, because Slime is that perfect game where you'd want it physical. Like it's just it's a nice lengthy juicy platformer with tons of stuff in it. That's the perfect, to me, that's the perfect physical game because it's something you always want to come back to and play. And that's what I look for in a physical game.
Yeah, slimy yet satisfying. No, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you guys' race was fantastic. I could not believe how tight that was. Like, in the same room.
Oh man, that was embarrassing.
Oh, I guess that one level I knew
it's like, better than when I looked, but it's just like.
Oh no! It's when the worst is just when you crash in the same thing like 8 times. You're like, I know what I'm freaking doing. Yeah. I know it, but I'm not going to change a single thing, and I want to try again.
It's so funny because, like, I know, like, I'd get stuck on one thing, and Casey would, go right past it, and then Casey, like, there's one part where he just was on it for like 5 minutes.
It was the one with that damn
with
door.
The air that like flows up.
My favorite thing is to was observing your guys' faces because like there were moments where you had to kind of like fake anger, which was kind of for entertainment, but then there was also the real anger, and I saw those. I know those.
Oh man,
that's so what drives you guys.
Yeah. And I tell you what, if there was like an extra millisecond of time between deaths and respawning, there's probably some controllers thrown. There would be a lot more controllers being thrown.
Yeah, and you don't want to throw your controller if it's literally a console.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming on, guys. Like I said, you guys must be so excited about everything that's going on. I have to think that. Well, I guess one last question about Spirit Sphere and how, I mean, are you looking, because you're looking for a release date like once everything's good? Now it's kind of scary because there's so many games coming out.
Yep.
You know, so being, you know, are you trying to get it as soon as possible, or are you gonna be like, do you think you're gonna be moving it maybe a little to like, you know, are you looking at other releases? Is that a thing?
Oh, one always does, for sure. And you definitely don't want to release like too close to E3 because you're just going to shoot yourself in the leg there. The time has passed to rush for the release on the Switch. So it's better to just find that right the right week where it just fits.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't envy you because that sounds off. That sounds really scary. And, you know, like, I don't know.
You know, weirdly enough, you kind of get used to it. Like there's always a stress to it. I think just running your own company in a game development is stressful inherently. But stuff like release scheduling, after, you know, the X time, it's kind of like a little less stressful, a little less scary.
Right.
The hard work's done.
Yeah.
That's
well, as if.
Not really. Yeah, I mean, I just think like back a few months ago, I think it was like FIA and the bird, what was that bird game that I just bought today?
Oh, Owlboy?
Owlboy. And
The bird game.
that bird game.
Hey, you got it first try. I just mean like all the like and Celeste, they all like released on like the same week, and it's just like
January,
February. I think of all games, actually, Iconoclast suffered the most during that release schedule, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A game that I'm definitely hoping for the Switch release to like get the proper attention.
Yes, and
that game was that? Did you say?
Iconoclasts.
Yeah. Like I feel like that Celeste took a little bit of that space away for Iconoclast's launch, which is a bummer.
Yep. Well, yeah, it just has to, you know, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. But well, okay, before you go, I want to know what you three guys have been playing. Just in video games.
The Blood Moon one.
Yeah,
that one.
Stains.
Yeah.
That one was really fun. I mean, I did not realize how good of a Castlevania game it is.
Oh, sweet.
Indie Creates is awesome.
Yeah, they are. I'm wearing my Blaster Master Zero shirt right now. That's how cool they are.
I bought that game. I have not yet played it.
Oh, okay.
It's excellent, and its twist on New Game Plus is really clever.
Oh man, I want to play it so bad. I have no time. I want to play it so bad. Edgar, what have you been playing?
Lately, God of War.
Oh, the new one, right?
I feel like the new one. I feel like I'm close to the end. I've been really enjoying it. The pacing for everything has been like they've been hitting it off really well. So it's good.
Yeah, I heard it was like people call it a masterpiece.
Yeah, like there's some stuff with I'm kind of forgetting now with the combat that I'm still getting used to, because like the Dark Souls style, like pressing R1, R2, or like the bumper triggers to attack and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's been really great.
Cool. Here's the thing. I've never played a God of War game ever. Like, I don't even think I've seen a screenshot. I'm serious. So
angry looking man.
But I just have to ask, like, from what I have seen I have seen the new God of War, like the one that just came out. I have seen like video and stuff. And to me, that looks completely different from everything I thought God of War was. And is that is the game completely different from previous God of Wars?
Yeah, it's very different.
Well, gameplay wise, it's very different, and narratively, it feels totally separate. But there's a lot that kind of it ties into the old games in a way that the old games were not narratively meaningful. It actually does a surprising amount to make them feel impactful, or to have the events be relevant.
Not that it's like exactly the same, but it's still kind of a similar concept, like Breath of the Wild. It feels like a Zelda game, but it's kind of a different game. And I kind of feel with God of War that's the same thing. It's a kind of a reinvention a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Well, Neb?
So I'm kind of catching up with old games that I should have played a little while ago. So I've been playing through the Spectre of Torment, the Shovel Knight campaign.
Dude, I just played through that.
I'm almost near the end. I'm like just a few levels away from being done with it. So far, I've been loving it. Apparently, it's Shovel Knight's a good game, guys.
Yeah.
True story.
It is.
Safe to say.
And I know I just played through all 3 of the campaigns because I just wanted to refresh my for King of Cards coming out.
Yeah.
And that to me, right? Obviously, you've heard a Shovel Knight seems like it would, like it has so much exposure, right? But it actually deserves that exposure. It's a really good game. You know what I mean? It's like one of those games that it actually is fantastic, and it deserves all the praise it gets. You know.
Well, also its post support is pretty much one of the most insane levels of indie post support I've ever witnessed.
Yes.
Of any post support of anything. That make a new game, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They did that 3 times, and they're still just making it the same game.
And giving it away for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost could say that to a few people on this podcast right now.
Yeah.
It's almost like we got inspired.
What a slimy business practice.
Yeah.
I thought Ben was going to say that.
Free content.
Yeah. Enjoy your hours of extra play.
Yeah.
So evil.
I'm going to watch you on Twitch get angry.
When Ben said that he was going to catch up on games that he should have been playing, I thought he was going to say, I've been playing Slime Song. I
can't play that game.
Yeah. Well, it's always good to hear what devs are playing. So I can't believe that. I thought for sure you all 3 would say, "Oh, we don't play games. We don't have time for that."
No, we just don't sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, we prioritize. I mean, this is very simple.
There you go. Well, why don't we give off your guys' Twitter handles?
So main Fabraz account at Fabraz, Fabrazz.
Yeah, 2 Z's. Edgar?
Yes, it's at Eon Nomad, EONNOMAD.
Eon Nomad.
Yes.
And then Ben Myler.
I tweet maybe once every 3-4 months.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. It's not good quality.
No.
So it's at Strange Bloops, STRANGEBLOOPS.
But I do welcome anybody who's listening to say his real name on Twitter all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And only his real name.
Ben
Ned
Miller?
Myler. Ned Myler.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, wait, one was in there.
And Nbe Malo.
What?
I feel like it's slowly just turning to Pig Latin or like a weird anagram.
Yes. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Talking Nintendo Podcast. It's always good to end it off with some good friends and some good game devs that are creating good stuff. So thanks again, guys, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You
Appreciate
guys
it,
are great.
of course.
Thanks for having us. Always fun.
It's way too much fun.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And hopefully next year we'll be eating some sushi.
We'll be pounding
in
sake.
Japan.
Kampai.
Yeah. And I'll
handing
teach
out
you...
business cards with 2 hands.
So as the music is playing out here, I do want to say that my friend had a foreign exchange student when we were little, and Japanese, and he came, and we asked him to teach us the most vulgar sentence in Japanese. And I'm not going to say it here, but I vowed to.
those like noise makers that you blow into and it sort of rolls out, and like just
Iki.
You so icky.
And it's
Jimmy the
so
Dwarf?
lots of yeah. There's a game where you chuck what are they called? Cannabar.
What was that?
What are those animals? The big rodents,
Chinchillas?
Why can't I think of it? No. It's like Canibara? Is that what they're called?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Jimmy.
Hold on. It's
We'll just call them
sure
big
that's what it
rodents.
is. Canibara. I just can't remember if it's Capybara. That's what it
Okay.
is. Capybara. Sorry, that's why I was like, Canibara sounds right.
Candy bar? You
Right.
just throwing candy
Capybara.
bars?
No. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Something weird. Something about
You're
me,
all
man.
hopped up on goofballs.
Goofathol. I don't need any of your neeby-jeeby marriage packs.
Yugo's Island Express.
Yoku's. That Neb Myler, he's easy to trick into giving away secrets.
You kind of just have to do a bit of guesswork. Shut up, Alexa.